Greetings. Hello. Hello. We are connected with unconditional love for your highest message of wisdom and guidance, most pertinent to you at this time. Let's check in on the status of your manifestations. And out comes the Seven of Cups. It feels like there's something befuddling. You're feeling a little befuddled or confused. And this particular Seven of Cups, it has these plants that are growing over a shelf. And the shelf contains like multiple cups. And he's holding the seventh cup, kind of looking at the shelf. And he just is wondering, like, where do I put this? And in fact, there are 6 cups on the shelf, and he's holding the seventh cup. And the 6 cups are empty. The shelf is kind of placed in the shade under what looks like a vine or tree, and the vine or tree is overgrown the top shelves. But he holds a 7th cup, and the 7th cup has this plant that has sprouted a flower already. It's a tall plant and it has a flower. And he's just looking, he's like, where do I put this? The shelf is crowded with these 6 cups that are empty. On the split, you have the Page of Wands and the 8 of Cups. So this is talking clearly about walking away from what it is these empty cups represents, and not seeing it as a failure, or not seeing it as taking the lesson and taking all of the gifts that came from having that cup and holding space for whatever it was that you were trying to grow in that cup. So these could have been manifestations of yours that didn't take off in the way that you had planned, or in the way that you had intended when you were giving it the energy that you were. Now it seems like you might not be giving it as much energy, as much attention as you used to, but there's something else that has grown and been growing alongside these things. And now it's time, you feel, for it to have a place on the shelf eventually. So you're just wondering, like, how are you going to make space for this? And the Page of Wands is showing that there's instinctually, like, you'll feel the excitement, you'll feel the energy of how to walk, how to go, what to continue to offer your attention to. If your Page of Wands energy is not engaging with it at this time, you're not going to pressure yourself about walking away from it. Yes, and I'm not necessarily getting like a permanent walking away. Like, it seems like what it is that you were growing in these 6 cups, these are things that are also true and beautiful expressions of something for you. And these things may very well come to you in the future. And, life is all about divine timing and divine process, which it feels like is a part of the lessons and the gifts that you're accepting from, this session of clearing out or just walking away from. You're also looking and wondering, this thing that has sprouted, that you've grown and has been growing, how does it fit into the further plan of your life, the further scheme? It's like there's a part of you that is looking down into the future based on the present and wondering, is this what I want to do? Is this how I want to invest myself, invest my energy, my time? It seems there's something in you that is wondering, a little bit worried, but mostly wondering if it's not wise to do something that to you is more not to you, it's do something that is generally accepted as more concrete and more established. So you're wondering not to put your other ventures aside, but you're wondering if it's not wise to establish yourself in some way in a more widely accepted institutional space. I'm seeing this here because I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles with the Hierophant. The wisdom Spirit wants to offer you at this time is the Ten of Cups. So in your inner world, primarily, it seems like there's a lot of a pentacle focus. There's Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. But or maybe in your focus, right? Your mental focus. But it feels like your energy and where Spirit is really, where you're really feeling the most motion and momentum as well, is in this cup area. So this is the emotional and spiritual. This Ten of Cups energy, which is Spirit's wisdom, it's depicted with a butterfly that is also a pair of ribs, like the bottom wings. The bottom halves of each wing is depicted as ribs on this card. So I'm getting a lot about breath and breathing energy and just being very tuned in with the breath, the present, the personal power. And those three things kind of tack along with each other: breath, presence, personal power. And on the split, you have the Knight of Cups with the Chariot, the Devil, Hermit, and Judgment. So breathing through things and being present, remaining in your personal power. Others might judge you as being unwise, or they just might not have a sense of how grounded and how truly guided your energy is at this time. But Spirit is showing this wisdom in that breath, and the presence, and the personal power. It's moving you through a fearsome and binding cycle, a fearsome and binding situation. Like there's a contract, there's an ownership that is being represented here. And then there's the fear that drives one into committing to that type of contract. And it feels like Spirit is saying that the breathing and the presence and the personal power and staying with it, you're moving through something here. It feels like what I'm saying is really abstract, but it just feels like moving through a veil, piercing it, just flowing through it by just being as comfortable as possible, by just being connected with this deep breath and the present and your personal power. You might be getting really involved in breath work and breathing work, like different types of breathing at this time. And if not, you might be feeling guided to. You might have noticed synchronicities like that around you or felt nudges within you. And even if you haven't been experiencing that, let this be a sign to say that could be something that is very helpful to you, very, very comforting to you, and empowering for you. And then you have also the Hermit card and Judgment. It feels like breathing through it and then being birthed into the new light. The Hermit, it's like he's keeping steady, keeping himself company through the night. And then Judgment is like the day, the break of dawn. And that's the energy that is behind the veil that you're moving through. And before I move into guidance, I must call out this second energy that is being represented by this Ten of Cups, which is the energy of love. It feels like some of the wisdom that Spirit is offering at this time is about how love is so valuable. It's the most valuable thing you have. It's the most valuable thing that exists. In fact, it could be argued that it's the only thing of any true value. True love from others brings support. It makes you feel supported and loved and seen and accepted in some, it might not be in all areas with a single person or any group of people, but it's in a true way. If there's true love, there is that true support. The true love within you also gives you this support, this acceptance. Love comes in like water and it calms. And it calms and soothes and creates that comfort again to move through the veil. Also, the true love within you that you are able to take from within you to outside of you, that you're able to offer to another. This also it brings healing, it brings comfort and connection and guidance. So another way that breath work is coming up in this reading is to discuss how breathing in each present moment allows you to remain present. And once you're present, you recognize in each moment the love that you are receiving. Being present in each moment allows you to connect with divine love, and it allows you to connect with the love being offered to you in each moment. And it also allows you to connect with the love within you and to sense exactly where it needs to go. Does it need to go deeper within you to some aspect of you? Does it need to come out and be shared? In what way does it need to be shared? So this breathwork is offering many real-time wisdoms. Under the deck, we have the Six of Swords with Ace of Wands and High Priestess, the Empress. You feel like you've been on a long journey and that you're still on a journey. And yes, we're all on a journey in life. And in life, there are many journeys. You feel like the particular journey you've been on has been just, it's been a journey for you, it seems. And you feel so many emotions coming up and out of you, some of which you don't even really have words to describe. So you just notice them and you notice the experiences that you're having within you. But you're also kind of just moving over the water. And there's an energy, this Ace of Wands has kind of a North Star energy where there's something that, there's a warmth that you keep on your face. There's something that lights you up. There's something that you keep, like, you kind of have your compass pointed toward it. So no matter what direction you're pointing, no matter how you're angling yourself or how you're following your heart, how your guidance is taking you, you still notice that thing that brings you passion, that thing that brings you purpose. It feels like possibly a mission for you, just something that it's fire for you. And when you feel that thing, you intuitively know, your path, you know what you're meant to be doing. The wisdom continues that breathing and connecting with that in the present moment, that is your intuition. And it is leading you to a time of greatness that it feels like you've manifested. A time when you feel like you'll be sitting up higher in yourself. You'll be more full, if not full, expression of what the divine has placed in you and your heart, your soul. And even in all this fullness of expression, there's so much more going on behind the veil, behind you as a veil, where you're creating even more than anyone could ever imagine. There's even more to come, even beyond that. You're literally going to shock everyone. as you move forward in that energy. So I am now calling in unconditional love's powerful guidance for us to close out this reading. And the guidance is the Knight of Swords with the Ace of Cups. And right away I hear, be truthful with love. We have the Hermit again, and it's coming out above the Two of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Five of Cups. It feels like there's something, some truth that you have, some personal truth of yours that you kind of, there's some attention, there's some credit that you're not paying to it in love. And you are also with the Seven of Swords, it feels like masking it. It could be that you're masking it from another. It could be that you're masking it from yourself. But it feels like for you to acknowledge this particular truth, you fear that it would cause sadness or a loss of love here with the Five of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is actually here, which, if you remember, is how we started the reading. But this is a different Seven of Cups. And this Seven of Cups speaks more about surprise, shock, or overwhelm. So this, loss of love here, or this Five of Cups energy that you could be expecting from engaging with the truth about this love, this something in this love, or engaging with a truth, or bringing a truth to a love, you'll know exactly how it resonates with you once I say also the next part too. This, Five of Cups energy that you're supposing could come, it feels like you could be pleasantly surprised. You could find not that. And instead of a loss of love, there could be, the death energy with the star. It feels like a rebirth, a transformation. The star is actually, it has this energy of renewal, yes, but there's an enriched sense. So it's not starting back exactly the same way as it were, or as it was, but something more grounded. It's truer. It's more aligned with your deepness, your soul, there's something real about it and pure and authentic. And that comes with being able to put away the mask about something and not self-deceive, and then not deceive someone else. It seems not deceive is a strong word. I'm just saying that because of the Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords. But it does feel like there's a dual component of not allowing yourself to think about something, or not allowing yourself to admit something and then not admitting it to someone else. Just not wanting to cause a problem. It also feels like there's a divine timing component there, and you intuitively will know when and how. With the Hermit coming out above all of those, Hermit was under the deck. It's talking about you looking within. So this part of the reading might not be immediately apparent to you what is coming up, but Spirit's guidance is saying, the Hermit, look within. And maybe spend some time unplugged from certain, devices or your routine, and just sit with your personal light, your inner truth, your energy. And remember that this truth is a truth that is important because it's your truth. And as you sit with this, you'll come across this Two of Swords energy, this thing that you haven't shared with yourself, this truth you haven't grounded down with yourself. And that because of that, you haven't grounded down with someone else. So that's why that message of be truthful with love came forward. It feels like being truthful with love is creating an opportunity. So for the for the arm of this where there's someone else involved, it feels like this truthfulness unveils something from the universe, a possibility that they didn't know. They didn't fully accept was a real possibility for themselves. They could have been in a state of just seeing that as a fantasy or a dream. But something about your truthfulness unlocks, it just spins them around and allows them to see that the universe was always showing them that this was possible for them. And I know that this part of the reading is spoken very abstractedly, but if intuitively you are resonating with this guidance, I feel it's important to let you know what this unveiling does to that person on the other side of this truth energy, this truth and love. This unveiling energy brings that. So it's, oh wow, I just realized that I'm saying unveiling, and earlier we were talking about walking through the veil. So walking through that veil brought you to a space of total power, abundance, renewed energy, full expression of yourself. And it's bringing that person to the energy that is the exact match of that energy that you were walking into. Yeah. And that's a journey for them. That's an energetic shakeup for them. I don't see any negative energy here, only power and path and possibility. So I've been guided to leave it there. I'm so grateful that we were able to connect here today in this reading. I hope that it has brought you some intuitive confirmation and clarity. I look forward to us connecting again in the next reading. So until then, take very good care of yourself. Happy aligning.